Most women recognize a graceful home the moment they step into one. It's not about size, it's not about price, and it's not about following a particular style. Some homes feel very easy to be in. Others feel strangely tiring, even when they're beautiful. You might not notice it right away. You just know that certain spaces help you settle, while others keep you slightly on edge. And very often, that difference has less to do with taste and more to do with how well the home supports daily life. Today, I want to show you through 5 specific elements what a graceful home actually looks like, not as a design philosophy, but in the practical ways a home supports how your days begin, unfold, and end. Not how it photographs, not how it impresses, but how it works for you quietly every day. Welcome back to Gracefully Lori. I'm Lori. If you're new here, this channel is for women who want to live authentically, express themselves with intention, and move through the world with quiet, modern grace. This is the second video in a short 4-video series where I walk through what graceful living looks like, not in theory, but in everyday life. So let's get started. Element 1, there's a difference between a home that looks good and a home that actually supports you. Most of us don't realize how much effort our homes quietly ask of us until we experience one that doesn't. Think about how many small actions happen at home every day. Coming in the door, putting things down, changing clothes, making meals, sitting, resting, working, transitioning. When those moments don't flow easily, you compensate without even noticing. You take extra steps. You adjust your body. You move things out of the way. You tolerate mild inconvenience over and over again. None of it feels dramatic, but it adds up. A graceful home functions in a way that supports real daily patterns, not ideal ones. It anticipates what you need and removes unnecessary effort. Function here isn't about being minimalist or hyper efficient. It's about ease of use. That can look like an entryway that actually lets you arrive home with ease, a place for keys, bags, coats, shoes, so nothing has to be managed later. Seating that supports how your body feels at the end of the day, not just how the room looks. A closet or bedroom layout that makes changing clothes part of the day effortless instead of something you work around. A kitchen that allows you to move naturally without circling, reaching, or constantly adjusting. When a home functions well, your body relaxes before your mind even catches up. A graceful home doesn't demand attention. It quietly supports you so your energy can go towards living, not managing. Element 2, once a home functions smoothly, something else becomes very noticeable. Not just how easily you move through the space, but how it feels to be there. There's a particular kind of discomfort that's hard to explain. It's not that anything is wrong with your home, it just never quite lets you relax. You might like parts of it. You may have invested money, time into it, but something just feels slightly off. That feeling often comes from living in spaces that don't fully reflect who you are. Not in a dramatic way, but in small, constant mismatches. Things you've kept out of habits, items chosen for practicality alone, pieces that don't really go together, but never felt urgent enough to change. Over time, those small mismatches create mental noise. You don't consciously think about them, but your nervous system registers them. A graceful home has a sense of coherence, not because it follows a style rule, but because it clearly belongs to the person living there. When your home reflects your personal aesthetic, your colors, your textures, your rhythm, your mind stops negotiating with the space. This can look like letting go of items you've never loved, even if they're fine, choosing dinnerware, linens, or furniture that feels consistent with how you live and your aesthetics in other areas, like your clothing. Removing pieces that clash visually or emotionally, even if they were expensive. Creating visual continuity so your home feels intentional rather than accumulated. Think about that one object you've always disliked, the lamp, the chair, the wallpaper you've learned to ignore. A graceful home doesn't ask you to ignore things you dislike. It lets you feel at ease in your own space. When your home reflects your personal style, you stop bracing against it. You settle in, and that quiet sense of belonging changes how you move through your day. Element 3. Once a home both feels functional and feels like it truly belongs to you, it begins to support you in another important way, not just emotionally, but physically and mentally. There's a reason certain homes make you want to sit down immediately, and others make you feel strangely restless, even when there's plenty of space. Daily life asks a lot of your body. Standing, moving, working, holding tension. When you finally slow down, your home should meet you there. Comfort isn't indulgence, it's recovery. A graceful home supports your body as much as your schedule. It recognizes that rest is not something you earn, it's something you need in order to live well. This shows up as seating that truly allows your body to relax after a long day. Think about that comfy couch everyone gravitates to. Textiles that invite warmth and softness when you're tired. Think about that soft plush throw blanket you snuggle up in. Bedrooms that support real rest, not just appearance. Think about sinking into that comfortable mattress. Work from home setups that don't quietly strain your body. Think about that desk chair you sit in for hours most days. When comfort is designed intentionally, your home becomes a place where you reset, not just collapse. A graceful home doesn't ask you to power through. It gives your body permission to exhale. And when your body can rest, your mind follows. This brings us to something many women underestimate. Element 4. There's a difference between a home that feels full and a home that feels settled. Most of us don't notice the difference right away. We just know that some spaces let our minds rest and others keep us subtly alert. A graceful home isn't sparse, and it isn't about having less for the sake of having less. It's about being intentional with what you live alongside every day. Your eyes take in your surroundings constantly, even when you're not paying attention. When there's too much of everything, your mind never quite lands. Curation is the quiet practice of choosing what earns a place in your daily life and what doesn't. Not because it's wrong, but because it doesn't support you. Here are some examples. Choosing fewer but better things you trust to stand up to real daily use. Keeping items that bring comfort or meaning when you see them. Photos, souvenirs, heirlooms. Letting go of those extras that create visual noise without adding value. Not needing 5 versions of everything to feel prepared. When your home is curated, you stop scanning, sorting, and managing all day. Your attention softens, your body relaxes. A graceful home doesn't overwhelm you with options. It gives you clarity and space to breathe. Element 5. There's a moment when a space stops feeling like a house and starts feeling like yours. That's rarely dramatic, but you know it when it happens. This is where personal touches matter, not decorative trends, not what's impressive, unless that reflects you, but the small, thoughtful elements that make you feel seen by your own space. These are the things that quietly say, someone who understands me lives here. So here are some concrete everyday examples. A cozy corner you naturally gravitate toward at the end of the day. A throw blanket you reach for without thinking. Towels that feel good against your skin in the morning. A lamp, scent, or piece of art that makes you smile every time you pass it. A room layout that follows your rhythm, not a rule book. These choices don't shout. They reassure. When your home reflects you, your taste, your pace, your preferences, you don't have to brace yourself when you walk in that door. You can simply be and exhale. A graceful home doesn't just look personal. It feels like connection and belonging. A graceful house is not minimalist by default, maximalist by design, unless that's your intentional choice. It's not necessarily expensive or trend-driven, and it's not about restraint or indulgence. It's about support. Support for how you live, how you rest, how you move through ordinary days. A graceful home doesn't try to impress anyone, although it certainly may. It works quietly in the background, helping your days begin more smoothly, unfold with less resistance, and end with a sense of ease. When your home functions well, reflects your style, offers real comfort, is thoughtfully curated, and includes small, personal considerations, daily life feels lighter. Not because your home is perfect, but because it's intentional. Which part of a home matters most to you right now? Function, comfort, or something else? You can share just one word in the comments. And if you're enjoying this series on what graceful living actually looks like in everyday life, I hope you'll subscribe and join me for the next video. And if this way of thinking about your home resonates with you, liking the video helps it reach women who are looking for the same kind of clarity. I share new conversations like this each week. So if you'd like to keep exploring what graceful living looks like in real life, I'd love for you to subscribe. Until next time, my graceful friends.